Welcome to Athletes Unlimited Softball on ESPN, presented by our official climate finance partner, Aspiration. Week 4 off to a fantastic, dramatic start after Game 1 came down to the wire. 3-2 winners. This one, Team Alexander and Team Davidson. The top spot on the leaderboard belongs to Odyssey Alexander, taking on the 4th spot, Mia Davidson. Both of them captains a week ago. Odyssey led her team to a 3-0 performance. She allowed just one earned run in 11 innings pitched. We are seeing the superstar Odyssey Alexander. Bubba Nichols closing the gap on her in second place. The walk-off base hit in the bottom of the 7th with the bases loaded. Jordan Roberts had a big part to play, but the captain, the hero, to kick off week 4 in her first game as a captain, and she has trimmed that big lead that Odyssey Alexander had down to just 38 points. So here comes Bubba. Anissa Urtez still sitting in 3rd. Mia Davidson hoping she can climb up there as well. Kat Sandercock up 5 more places. That's 20 between last week and day 1 of Series 4. Alongside the 2-time All-American Amanda Scarborough, I'm Chucky Kemp. What a tremendous start we saw here in week 4. Now Odyssey Alexander trying to repeat her success from last week.
Yeah, we just saw Bubba Nichols, a first-time captain, get her first win as captain. We have a couple of first-time captains this weekend with Anissa Urtez, who Bubba Nichols just beat. But the way that Odyssey Alexander has been climbing up the leaderboard has really been what's sticking out to me. She's all the way at #1, which we just saw. She was 3-0 last weekend when she was captain. Mia Davidson was also a captain last weekend. Again, Nichols and Urtez being first-time captains this weekend, but Odyssey Alexander has looked so confident and determined in the circle the past couple of weeks. She just looks different. She looks confident in every type of pitch that she throws, with her curve, screw, rise, and her off-speed pitch. She is a captain and kind of understanding more about this whole leadership thing of being a captain, which she was a first-time captain earlier this season.
A lot of success for Odyssey as a captain, as we mentioned, and some of that thanks to Aaliyah Andrews, who picked up 478 points in week 3. She had the walk-off winner in Greenville to help Odyssey pick up her first ever win as a captain in a 4-3 victory in 9 innings. And then Danielle Gibson back on Odyssey's team again this week, and why not? She hit 600 with a couple home runs and 6 RBIs. She was the point leader last week with 578. And we take a breath as we get set for Game 2 tonight. A quick turnaround here between Alexander and Davidson. And Megan Faramo gets the start for Team Davidson. Aaliyah Andrews trying to lead things off. She has swung such a great bat this season. That goes back to the shortened AUX, when she finished 8th on the leaderboard, but hitting .333 entering this week during the championship year. And wearing that gold jersey, here is Megan Faramo, 3-1 on the season, a 2.18 ERA. She was #1 on the leaderboard entering last week. Andrews fouls this one off. Hey, Davidson just showing off the arm there, just doing it for the fans.
Take another warm-up throw, just getting loose. Quick turnaround in between games, too. That walk-off happened, and then both teams take a little infield, and then it's like, time to go.
Andrews down 1-2 in the count. Lofts it into left field. Victoria Hayward is out there and makes the catch over her shoulder for out #1. Megan Faramo tied for 2nd in the league in wins with 3, leads the league in complete games, and the shutout had that no-hitter in week 2. Finished 19th in her first ever Athletes Unlimited season. She has been really impressive.
She has been being able to work more up in the zone with her rise ball, screwball, curveball combination that she'll throw. She's one of the hardest throwers in the league. Will throw 69, 70 miles an hour. When you see that pitch up in the zone at 70, it feels even faster.
It's one of a number of exceptional Bruins in this Athletes Unlimited player pool. Kelsey Stewart Hunter from the other side of the country, the Florida product, has the first base hit of the game. Ramo, the first pick by Mia Davidson in the draft, followed by Mariah Masson. Deja Mulipola gets set to come to the plate with one away. Deja just one home run in the first 3 weeks. Last year when she was champion, she hit 9 home runs and drove in 19.
Yeah, home runs have just been harder to come by this season for every player, not just Deja. Pitchers have stepped up, and also first 3 weeks the wind has just been blowing so hard in, the ball's not been leaving the ballpark. But different night tonight, little to no wind going on out there right now. Just a beautiful night.
As a team, this roster that Mia Davidson has compiled has the best team ERA among the 4 drafted this week. Just a 2.27 ERA, a 2.26 opponent batting average, both of those numbers the best, and in large part because of Faramo and Mariah Masson, who has been unbelievable this season. 4-0 with a sub-1 ERA. Mulipola swings through it. 2 away for Faramo.
Yeah, you'll see Megan Faramo throw this curveball away from right-handed hitters a lot. Big strikeout pitch for her, and just a big strikeout overall with Kelsey Stewart Hunter at first base.
Here is Danielle Gibson. Watches the first pitch up in the zone. Gibson third in hits. Had 6 of her 11 hits in week 3. Faramo taking a little something off there.
Dropped it down about 15, 16 miles an hour. Great pitch.
Upstairs, ball 3. Ball 2, excuse me. Two-one pitch coming with Stewart Hunter on first and 2 away. That's outside for ball 3. Gibson from Murrieta, California. Talked to her last summer when she entered the league about being from there. That's where the Edwards twins are from. The Romero sisters are from there. She said she looked up to them growing up. Now on the same field with 3 of the 4. Knows Tatum well after she was a facilitator last season. First and second.
Talk about a softball hotbed.
Ooh.
Just listed off several All-Americans.
Tatum and Taylor at Nebraska. Just an incredible showing at the Women's College World Series. They went 0-2, but the games they played in were action-packed. Lost both by 1 run. One 1-0 pitch from Faramo. That's in the dirt. 2-0 to Gwen Svekis, the catcher. Speaking of Taylor Edwards, her fiance at the plate now. And speaking of Nebraska, they've got their new superstar, Jordy Ball, who's probably gearing up to get things started right now. That's back Mia Davidson. What a run! Just runs up the wall. What a catch from the captain for out number 3.
Is that Spider-Woman out there?
It might be.
Or is it Mia Davidson? The way that she's able to scale the wall, flips off her mask, puts her cleat or her turf into the wall, and gets this last out. What a play by Mia Davidson. That's athletic.
Well, 10 inning win points on the line here. We'll get our first look at Team Davidson after just the one base hit in the first for Team Alexander off Megan Faremo. Mia Davidson, she's doing her thing.
You can hit the ball so hard and so far. Always liable to leave the ballpark every time she steps up to the plate. 3 home runs for her this season, 7 RBI, hits for so much power, has a good eye at the plate, a tough out. Can't say enough about Mia Davidson at the plate this season.
Led AUX with 5 home runs, 3 home runs tied for the league lead here in this championship season. Plenty of speed and people who know how to get on base in front of her with Hayward and McClenny 1-2. Then Sierra Romero, she picked up 2 of the captains from last week that lost their spots, Sierra Romero and Megan Faremo. So Sierra will be in the 3-hole. Mia Davidson already has shown off the glove. Tremendous grab to end that inning. Alyssa Denham on the other side of this to face off with Hayward, leading this game off. 0-1 pitch from Denham, product of Arizona. Spent a year at Louisiana before she transferred to Arizona with DJ Sanders at Louisiana for that year. Played with Deja Mulipola 3 seasons at Arizona. Alyssa Denham 3-1 with a 2.26 ERA, and we saw her day 1 of the season. We were super excited to see her. She was a captain. She finished 2nd last summer. Really struggled day 1, but since then, for the most part, has been lights out.
And she had a really good rebound after that first outing. And one of the pitchers, along with Rachel Garcia, who has been relied on the most coming in this weekend. Rachel Garcia had 8 appearances, and also Alyssa Denham had 8 appearances. So we've seen both of them a lot, to your point, with the way that she rebounded after that tough first game. She had 5 appearances in a row without giving up a run.
Great at bat here from Victoria Hayward to start things off. You would have called me crazy if I told you Victoria Hayward and Haley McClenny would be hitting under 300 for the season entering week 4. But that is the situation currently. Hayward almost there at 296, but the on-base percentages still good. For Hayward at 441. For McClenny, she is hitting just 115, but has a 324 on-base percentage. And Hayward walks. Up goes the on-base percentage.
It's still so tough because you know you're going to get a good at bat. They're going to see a lot of pitches at the top of the order. Make it tough for the pitcher to face him. First 2 hitters.
Not sure how often Haley McClenny hasn't been selected in the first 4 rounds of a draft, but that's what happened this week. And for Mia Davidson, have to think at some point Haley McClenny is going to start doing what she does, which is rake at the plate. Mia Davidson's hoping it's this week, and she got a steal.
Gwen Svekis comes right out, wants to chat with Alyssa Denham. These two spent a lot of time together over the summer in Japan, very familiar with each other.
Denham has started every game for her professional team in Japan, and Gwen Svekis has caught every one of those games. They will head back to finish that season, the second half of this Japanese Professional League season. McClenny swings through it. Hayward at first, tied for the league lead with 3 stolen bases on 3 attempts. She is the career stolen base leader for Athletes Unlimited. McClenny taps it down. Little bunt and run here, and she is out at first. Nice play coming across from Delaney Whiz.
Yeah.
Hayward in scoring position.
And Hayward was put in motion. She was running in that pitch, going on the pitch, and then Haley McClenny able to put it down. Third base was open for a long time as McClenny puts that down. You see Hayward in motion. I thought for a second she was going to try to beat Gwen Svekis to third base. Decides to hold up because of who's coming up.
Sierra Romero, first pitch swinging, fouls it back. Talked about Sierra from Murrieta, California. Hitting .323 this season. No home runs, but 4 extra base hits. 3 of those are doubles. She had one of the signature moments of this 2023 season with the squeeze bunt to win the game for her team in week 1 with Victoria Hayward on third base. 0-2 pitch, stays with it. Ground ball, flipping, bounces it over to Stuart Hunter. And there's 2 outs. Look at another one who plays professionally in Japan. Different team than Gwen and Alyssa Denham. They see each other as much as they can, I think, on off days. Mia Davidson, a chance with inning points on the line here in the first. First game tonight, a walk-off winner for Team Nichols over Team Ortez. And it was the captain, Bubba Nichols, coming through. One from Denham, outside, ball 1.
Alyssa Denham will just spin the ball like crazy. Her spin rate is really high. Gonna mix speeds a lot too. Just take a mile an hour off here, 2 miles an hour off here. That's a tongue twister, in case you're wondering. Just like that with her off-speed curveball.
Alyssa Denham, one who finished second last year, really close to Deja Mulipola. Just 62 points away from Deja in first, but she's hanging around there a little bit. She's in 16th place. It would need to be 2 big weeks for her, but it's doable for somebody like Alyssa Denham. Said entering the night, the top 10 were separated by just 428, and as you go further down that leaderboard, there are not a lot of wide gaps. 2-out walk for Mia Davidson, that's 8 points for her. Here's the top 10. Mia in 4th, Odyssey Alexander, the captain of her team, still in 1st place. It would be tough to catch her tonight. As you see, Mia gets those 8 points for the walk. Over to Whiz. A couple nice plays from her as they get Nadia Taylor on the first pitch. And we have rollover inning points, the theme this season. 20 on the line as we go to the second. 0-0, top of the second here in wonderful Rosemont, Illinois, just across the street from O'Hare International. Team Alexander and Team Davidson, 20 inning points on the line, and we've got our star in the stands tonight. It's Taylor Edwards, the veteran from Nebraska. Taylor, thank you for doing this. You've got a good group there with you.
Yes, I do. Look at all these young ones. Thank you guys for having me.
Absolutely. We're happy to talk to you here. You just got done with a very dramatic game. We're already seeing some rollover points in this inning. I mean, what are those games like when you get toward the end and you know, hey, there's 50, 60, 70 points on the line?
Yeah, honestly, that's when it gets the most fun. When the little bit of quote-unquote pressure comes, that's when I like to dial in and just trust the process that I've been putting in for years and just see the ball, have fun. Or read the ball, go to the next pitch.
Leading off, Hannah Flippin against Megan Faramo. You know all these pitchers really well, Taylor. What's Megan Faramo? She's been so good this season. What is it about her that makes her difficult for hitters?
She's so good at going both sides of the plate, especially in the river. So a little bit off the plate. She's not scared to go into lefties, righties, a little bit up, give you a little chin music to, balance you out. But she also has a dominant changeup. So, and she's just a workhorse. Like, she's thrown at least 5 innings when she comes in, and that's not often pitchers do that here.
Taylor, what do you feel like is the toughest part about catching so many different pitchers during a season?
I'd say the most difficult thing is to get them confident later, weeks 3, 4, 5. Because these hitters are going to see these pitchers so many times, and then they're going to be like, oh, well, she got me on this pitch, and I don't really trust it right now. But, like, we need your whole arsenal. We can't just stick to one side of the plate, one speed. We have to mix everything. Even if you've gotten bit on something before, we still have to go there and just getting them comfortable and confident. After an outing that's, maybe not the best.
Hannah Flippin with a laser into left center field right there. Taylor, we were talking about Alyssa Denham, Gwen Svekis, Flippin, some of these players who have played in Japan. What is it, I mean, you've played over there. What's it like playing in Japan against that competition? And obviously not a ton of Americans there, but tell us about your experience.
My experience was awesome. I played 2 years for Team Denso. I played in 2016 and 2017, one of the best experiences of my life. And it was just, softball was so fun and freeing. Even though I was there, I got paid and that I was doing it for a living every single day. And it was just so, I felt so prideful being there. And it just gave me a different respect for culture in general, but specifically the softball culture.
Taylor, you talked about a lot of softball that you played in your years. I think it's really easy to get burnt out at times. But what do you like to do off the field?
Off the field, I love going fishing. I love being in the sun. I love hanging out with my cats. I just love just hanging out. Really enjoying just nature, the simple things in life. Pretty blue sky, sun on my face, getting good UV rays, all those things. I love it.
That works. It's good that you can handle the heat being a catcher, because I'm sure you've spent many hot days behind the plate. We will revisit you later in the game. Thanks so much, Taylor.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
Pop out right there for Delaney Whiz for the first out after the Flippin' double. Taylor Edwards, one of those, I think you get this from a lot of these players in this league. It almost forces you to be, but such a student of the game, it seems like. I mean, somebody who you feel like really thinks about it, really processes it, not just when she's on the field, but when she's watching, when she's at home, everything.
Yeah, open to learning and feedback. And that's what you have to be, is open to learning, because, I mean, I know a lot of either high school athletes, college athletes who just feel like, oh, I've made it, because I got to varsity or D1 and aren't willing to learn anything. But these professional athletes who've played at the highest level are still wanting to learn and finding ways to get better, digging deep, having conversations of ways to get better, make themselves better and their teams better.
Now Caroline Jacobson, couple rookies going head-to-head. Jacobson was not here for the shortened AUX season. Faramo was. Caroline just hitting 136, but an on-base percentage close to 300. She's been a tough out right there, though. Faremo gets her looking for out number 2, the second strikeout for Megan Faremo.
I think this pitch just fooled Jacobson a little bit. When you look at where it ends up, it's right down the middle of the plate, but I think either Jacobson was waiting for that to break too far off the plate one way or the other, just froze her because of its location.
8 straight strikes now thrown by Faremo. Abby Ramirez in the 9-hole. Native of Chicago, played her college ball at Michigan, and an assistant coach at DePaul the last 3 years. Former right-handed power hitter in high school. 0-1, up and in, ball 1. Once broke the Illinois State home run record, which has since been broken. And then turned into a full-time slapper at Michigan for Carol Hutchins. I'd say it worked out pretty good.
She's just looking to find a way to get on base right now. Top of the lineup, on deck. A runner in scoring position any way she can to find a way to get on. Tougher with 2 strikes, of course, going up a pitcher like Faremo, but trying to put the ball in play.
And Faremo cannot get the call. That's ball 2.
Whew. Not sure where that one was. Maybe just a little bit up. That by Ramirez.
Trying to turn it over to the top of the order. Flippin on second, popped up on the infield. Romero has it. A leadoff double from Flippin turns into nothing. Bottom of the second we go. 20 points on the line. Zero-zero going to the bottom of the second. 20 inning win points on the line already here between Team Alexander and Team Davidson, 2 captains who had a lot of success last week. How about Odyssey Alexander? Through 3 weeks, her teams are 8-1. That's 900 win points. That alone would have you in a great spot on the leaderboard, not to mention the stat and MVP points that she has picked up. And Savannah Collins has more on that.
Thanks, Chucky. Let's dig in a little bit to the leaderboard right now. Like you mentioned, how did Odyssey Alexander end up at the top? And even the bigger question is, how does she stay that way until the end of season? So like you mentioned, there's 2 categories that she dominates. The first is win points. She has 900 total, more than any other athlete in the league right now. That's 8 games, 8-1 record that you mentioned, but 50 innings that she has won. That is where she is really picking up those points. The second is the MVP points. She leads this category too. 200 MVP points. She's got MVP 1, 3 times, more than any other athlete, and then MVP 3 as well. But here's what Odyssey's is missing, and what I think it's going to take to come out on top when it comes to that finish line and ending up #1. Win points, huge. MVP, typically we see that being important too for a champion, but it is stat points that Odyssey Alexander needs to really secure her spot here in gold. Win points come and go. You don't necessarily know how your team's gonna do week to week. MVP points too. Will you be in those clutch situations? Are you going to close out a game? But it's stat points that lead the road to being a champion. And the reason I know that is because if you dig into the leaderboards for every AU softball champion, there's one category that they finish the season in first for, and that's stat points. I think that's what Alexander needs for week 4 and then to secure in week 5 to end up right here.
That's a great point, Savannah, because she's put herself in such a great spot on the leaderboard by winning at such a high rate. Maybe unrealistic to expect her to finish this season with just 1, maybe 2 losses, but if you can continue to do things individually now that she's put herself in the position she's in, she could be the next champion.
What a great segment, just to narrow it all down and help us understand a lot of points that can get confusing at times, but when Savannah gives us the clarity, it makes it all make sense.
It's interesting that, I mean, Savannah's got way more confidence than I do, because any sort of spelling involved on live television, that would terrify me, as Sam Fisher takes one off the leg, hopefully off of that protection, but maybe not. Take a look at this, total points. Look at Kat Osterman. That's the single season Athletes Unlimited record. Of course, Kat did that, 2,408 points. Absurd, and there's the points per game. Odyssey's not far off there, but Kat with just ridiculous numbers as Fisher flares it out into left center field. That's gonna be a double for Sam Fisher.
Man, that has to feel good to foul one off of your leg and then get a sweet double like that. Odyssey Alexander chasing greatness, chasing the top of the leaderboard right now, sitting at 150 points per game. And Kat Osterman at 160 points per game when she won it all, so not too far behind.
There's Kat, the first ever Athletes Unlimited champion, not just in softball, but overall. Athletes Unlimited just had their first ever repeat champion, lacrosse, finishing last week, Taylor Moreno. The first ever 2-time champion for Athletes Unlimited Sports. There she is, back to back.
It's a big deal.
Consistency as an individual, as a team. This is ripped into left. Gibson cuts it off. They hold Fisher at third. Andrea Filler goes back-to-back base hits with Fisher here in the second.
Really pretty swing by Filler here. Keeps her hands above this pitch. It's trying to work its way up and in on her hands, and just a level swing by her to get to that pitch and hit a line drive. Now 2 on for Team Davidson.
That's just the 3rd hit of this season for Filler, who hit 364 during the shortened AUX season, which was a career best for her. She finished 12th, finished 7th last summer during AUX. Big conversation here between this infield and Alyssa Denham. Frankie Hamoudi over there talking to Andrea Filler at first base, one of the rookies out of Oregon State. And now Maddie Husky, speaking of rookies out of the Pac-12. Swinging first pitch. Ramirez tags Filler, goes to first, double play. Great stuff from Abby Ramirez, and Fisher stays put at third.
Such a tough decision for Sam Fisher with how hard that ball was hit at Abby Ramirez. Oftentimes, a ground ball to third base, excuse me, a ground ball to second base with a runner at third base is going to score, but Sam Fisher freezes. This turns into a double play for Ramirez and a best case scenario for Alyssa Denham in the circle. You can tell a little indecisive. Should I go? Should I stay? And then she's upset with herself because she did stay.
Huge play here. Now Sis Bates, the last hope for Team Davidson to pick up these inning win points.
It's a good thing, too, when you have Alyssa Denham in the circle because of her drop ball and how difficult she is to barrel up. She can create a lot of those double plays. So when she gets runners on base and there's a force out at any bag, you feel really confident with her in the circle to be able to make one pitch and get 2 outs.
Sis Bates, sub 200 average at the plate right now. Slow roller, Whiz trying to take care of it and does. The double play thanks to Abby Ramirez at second. Alyssa Denham out of a jam here in the second, and more rollover points. (0-0), 30 rollover inning points on the line between Team Alexander and Team Davidson. What a start we've had to week 4 here in this championship season. Let's go into the game with Air National Guard.
And then first at bat always gets the heart rate. Always gets the heart rate. I don't know why. I feel like I should be used to this by now. She's trying to overpower. She is like it's a Friday night arm. Like she's throwing 70, humming it. Like everything is spinning up. Yeah. Even the curve, like she tried to come curve in and it was up, you know?
The detail that Danielle Gibson sees from a pitcher out of the hand with her speed, spin, and location, man, it is just so different seemingly than a lot of other hitters that you talk to and really special.
Well, I appreciate that. I hear you, so I appreciate that.
Oh, there she is. Danielle Gibson mic'd up for us.
Kelly! How's it going up there, everyone?
We're great. How are you? We're excited to have you take us through some stuff this inning. We can't wait.
I am pumped to have this kind of POV on Athletes Unlimited softball. It's great. I'm honored to be the one that they chose to kind of analyze some at-bats, so let's go.
We're just thinking of some of the great hitting minds in the game, and so we had to go Danielle Gibson. But before we get to that point, I have to ask you, we haven't really talked to you since you took a new job with your alma mater, Arkansas. So Leah Andrews is on with nobody out. How special is that?
Oh, I am absolutely just so excited to start there. I mean, what a dream job and what a time for me to be able to do that.
Oh, you talking about
I am talking. Yeah, I'm just, being a Razorback to me is just really special, and it's something that I don't take for granted, and it's something that I take a lot of pride in to be able to go back home as young as I am and do what I do. So it's something that's definitely special, and I'm really excited for.
Well, you're in the hole now. Take us through this at bat for Kelsey Stewart-Hunter.
So Aaliyah obviously did a great job of getting lead off on some momentum that we needed for Kels, just getting her over to second at some point. Obviously, we'd love for her to get on and hit a single, but doing a job is kind of simplifies it in a game that can be really complex. So just getting Aaliyah over to second, she's got some speed, so really anything can work. And obviously, they both have speed. I think the worst thing you want to do right now is create a double play. And so when I'm up to bat and I have a runner at first, I'm trying to beat anything out that I hit on the ground, but also try and get something that I can get over her head. Oh, it's a good piece. And then if it doesn't fall, it doesn't fall, you know? So it's a game of luck sometimes. Here you go, Dave.
Danielle, we appreciate it. We're going to listen in from this point until your at-bat is complete.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you, guys. Play.
We've got Danielle
I need to
Gibson
come and touch you for my luck.
mic'd up.
She said anything different? Same? Okay, sounds good.
She's talking to Aaliyah Andrews and Gwen Spekas, trying to
For me,
get the
trying to
lowdown.
Top inside of a ball, something firm, can drive into the gap. Would be ideal right now. But also, she's a very good pitcher who has multiple speeds. So just trying to pick a speed and go with it is where I'm sitting at right now. Dave can get her over to second. Oh, see you, way to miss above. That too is huge, is being able to make adjustments based off of the pitcher. Megan throws a phenomenal rise. And so being able to make adjustments early in the count, early in the game, swinging above the ball is really huge for us. And I feel like we're just on the cusp of getting there.
1-1.
Yes!
Runner on first, one out here in the third.
Yes, Dave.
Danielle Gibson mic'd up on deck.
Yes!
Deep to center, McClenny back.
Yeah!
Mulipola!
Let's go!
Deja, for the second time this season, goes long, and a big moment there too for Team Alexander.
You saw that foul ball earlier in the count to Deja Mulipola, and even Danielle Gibson on deck was like, yes, that's it right there. She finds herself in a hitter's count, gets a curveball, lets that pitch get deep over the outside part of the plate and sends it right back up the middle of the field. That was a towering fly ball going 256 feet. Danielle Gibson on deck had a great view of it. 77 miles an hour off of the bat to get Team Alexander on top.
One out, nobody on. We're gonna listen back in with Danielle Gibson here at the plate. Down 0-2.
Just missed.
Deep to center, but not deep enough.
Oh my gosh, you could tell she just missed too with the swing that she had. She was on time, just missed it. A little bit too much underneath it, and that was very close to being back-to-back for Team Alexander.
That was really unique from Danielle Gibson to let us mic her up as she got ready for that inning, took us through the Kelsey Stewart-Hunter at bat, and then Deja Mulipola, and then you could hear her every time she stepped out of the box. Deep breath, trying to go through her routine.
I kind of just want to do that like all inning with her. It's so fun. And it's like, I don't want to talk because I don't want to miss anything that she's going to say.
I feel like Danielle Gibson, no matter where she is talking softball.
Yes.
Courtney Deifel, sure thrilled to have her back at Arkansas. Volunteer assistant for Tony Baldwin at Georgia this past season, and now a full-time assistant coach for her alma mater, where she was an All-American, where she hit for the home run cycle. 1-2, gets the outside corner. Great pitch from Faremo, but our first runs of the game come across.
Deja Mulipola with her second home run this season puts Team Alexander on top 2-0, just out of the reach of Haley McClenny to celebrate with her teammates.
Athletes Unlimited Softball on ESPN is sponsored by Aspiration, a global leader in financing climate impact. Some of the best photos from week 3. Danielle Gibson had a big week 3. Sis Bates with the home run in Greenville in front of a packed house at East Carolina University in the Little League Softball World Series. For every run scored during this year's Athletes Unlimited softball season, Aspiration is committed to planting 10 trees heading into the week. 1,190 trees have been committed this season thanks to Aspiration's support. Everyone knew Sis Bates would come through with a home run to help plant a few trees.
Oh, she's such a character. You could just have a camera on her the whole time and you would just laugh a lot, I think.
And we've got her and Sam Fisher back together. That's a duo we've seen a lot of this summer. And then we've got Haley McClenny and Victoria Hayward together. And that's another duo that we've become accustomed to seeing a lot. Alyssa Denham has a chance to secure these inning win points here, but has to do it against the top of the order. Hayward walked in the first. McClenny sacrificed her to second, but not much else going in that inning. That runs way outside.
Yeah, Alyssa Denham has been in a couple of jams in this game, but been able to work out of it, especially with what she worked through in the bottom of the second inning to get out of that jam.
Ooh, up and in, almost got Hayward. Jump back off that a little bit. Two-two count. Victoria Hayward was confirming the home plate umpire as well, because there was something different on the scoreboard for a moment. Umpiring crew this evening: Don Brown, Robbie Guest, Cameron Ellison. Robbie Guest behind the plate here in game 2. That is too far outside, full count here. Great at bat to lead off the inning for Hayward.
And between Hayward and McClenny on deck, just have such good eyes. They know the strike zone, plate discipline.
third base line. That was spinning a little, so Whiz got to it quickly.
Tori Hayward and Haley McClenny have taken the most walks at this point in the season.
8 for Hayward, 8 for McClenny. Ground ball right side. Denham wins that battle. Ramirez takes care of Hayward, and there's one out. We have 4 Little League World Series elimination games for you Saturday. Australia and Cuba start us off at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific, followed by the kids from Pennsylvania taking on Maine. And then Canada, Czech Republic at 4 Eastern. Nevada, Ohio at 6 Eastern. On Saturday, all 4 games on ESPN and the app. Those have been some exciting games as well. Some weather issues yesterday. Had to shut down a really good game between a team from California and Ohio. The Little League Softball World Series was outstanding this year, from a product on the field to the results on the networks.
Yeah, that championship game being on ABC, and at times over 1 million people watching that game. Sports growing at every single level, continues to be on the rise.
I mean, yeah, that's, we was talking about the college game, but every stage of the game, I think, is seeing that growth. 2-1 to McClenny. It's a really good location from Denham. 2-2.
That's a tough pitch to deal with if you're Haley McClenny. That is not a pitch you want to see in a hitter's count. Just off the edge and on your hands.
Outside, ball 3. Right on cue, too. Hayward and McClenny working counts.
Yeah.
Full count to McClenny now. Outside, McClenny walks for a 9th time this season. She is on with 1 out. All Denham has to do is allow none or just 1 run here in the 3rd, and her team will pick up 30-inning win points. Odyssey Alexander in first place, just 38 clear of Bubba Nichols. Back to Denham, chance for 2. The turn, they got Romero! And for the 2nd time in this game, in back-to-back innings even, Team Alexander rolls a pair.
Her drop ball will get double plays like this when she is in the circle, hit right back at her. Alyssa Denham with 2 double plays in this inning when she's in the circle.
Two 2-0, 30-inning win points for everybody on Team Alexander as they lead Team Davidson going to the 4th on opening night here of week number 4 of this Athletes Unlimited Championship season. Here's our next WNBA matchup on ABC. Tomorrow afternoon, Asia Wilson and the Aces. They've got the league's best record. They've got the Sparks. Coverage tips with WNBA Countdown at 2:30 Eastern, 11:30 a.m. Pacific. Some fans living it up. We've got a special guest, Kevin Davidson, the CEO of Softball Cloud and Yacker Tech, and excited to talk to you, Kevin. We have enjoyed the data and all the metrics, everything you guys have provided all season long. We see a lot of players and teams utilizing this kind of tool in softball now, the college game, the professional game. How much have you seen it grow recently?
Oh, it's been intense. It's been explosive, to say the least. You know, looking back in 2022, there was 5 colleges that had the Yacker Tech system. You know, looking at 2023, there was 19 systems in place, and you know now in 2024, we're going to have 45 systems in place with you know, the expectation to have 105 systems the following year. So wow. The college market has definitely adapted to it.
And when we're talking about data, it's velocity, spin rate, exit velocity, launch angle, distance, like what all the information that we use in these games are coming from Yacker Tech that are provided by what we have on the field. I'm curious, how do you feel like it's going to impact the game, and what do you feel like it's going to do for the game moving forward?
You know, I mean, I could talk about that topic for hours, so I'll try to keep it as simple as possible. But, you know, ultimately, I think the biggest thing is opportunity. I think, oh, wow.
Here we go, deep to left center. We're going to have to get the Yacker Tech on that one.
What's the date on that?
Delaney Whiz.
That was a bomb.
Wow.
Wow. I mean, that was impressive. 266 feet. There you go.
Yeah, do you just know it so well you can just guess at, or are you like do you just know the distance in your own head now?
No, I heard the announcer. I'm cheating.
Yeah, 266 feet and 77.7 miles an hour off the bat. And that was a changeup, by the way. It came in at 53 miles an hour. Launch angle, 28 degrees, more of a line drive. And we even have the hang time up here because of Yacker Tech, which was 4 seconds.
Wow. That was fun. That was fun to watch. But, you know, I mean, that's a great example right there. I mean, it's good information to know. I mean, you see these players, you see these athletes going out there, performing at their best, and they hit a ball. I mean, I want to know how hard that ball was hit. I want to know how far that ball went. You know, I want to know what the data was on that. That's important information. But, you know, you asked, you know, where the game's going at. You know, I think opportunity is the biggest thing that we talk about with the Yacker Tech. You know, you look at the game of softball, you see how it's being innovated. You see where the game is going. You know, athletes here at Athletes Unlimited, I can't wait for the day that Athletes Unlimited are picking their teams based off of data. You know, seeing girls in college level, seeing the way that the game is exploding at that level, to have the Athletes Unlimited teams, you know, pay attention to the college data and identify talent that has the opportunity to perform there, because you're seeing it at the collegiate level. The biggest thing that we're hearing from our collegiate clients is, you know, we want to see data on the high school players. We want to see the data and see how they perform to identify if they can play at our school. So the biggest way I can identify data in the future is opportunity. It's going to provide a lot of players opportunity in the future.
Yeah, Kevin, we talked to your team a lot this season as you guys have taken us through the system, and one of the things they've said is, hey, you can get lost in this. You know, you can take a full day and go through everything and find new things. How are you seeing, like, what's the feedback you hear from coaches and players that they like the most from maybe a hitter's perspective? Is there a tool that maybe stands out most to them?
You know, honestly, that's the fun thing about data, is that there's not every program that we speak with, they all are focusing on different metrics. It's unique to their philosophy. It's unique to their program. You see JT Gasso at Oklahoma, he's using it in a certain way. Lonnie Almeida, who is by far the best I've seen at this on the pitching side, she's using it in a certain way. Mike White, who was the first ever Yacker Tech college softball program, he's using it in a certain way. So that's the great thing about it, is yes, you can get lost in it, but if you use it properly and you use it to cater to your current philosophy, it's a great asset.
And Kevin, we're going to take a look at Tori Vidalis's home run from earlier today and see a video of her. She had a solo home run in the first game off of Sydney Littlejohn. And looking at her numbers, I think they're going to pop up here in just a second. So the pitch speed, 55 miles an hour. It was another changeup. It went 265 feet. 77 miles an hour off of the bat. We can sit here and talk a lot about it, but I'm sure people are curious, Kevin, of how does it work? How do you get these numbers? What does the system look like to be able to get these numbers to make it happen?
Well, it's really quite simple. It's very simple, but it's very complicated. I'm not a physicist and I'm not a computer engineer, but as you can see there down the first base line, there's 2 cameras. Those cameras are capturing images of the softball, and oh man, this game is fast here. They're capturing images of the softball and they're translating those images into data. So just by grabbing those images, we're able to identify what the ball is doing in space, and whether it's from the pitcher or whether it's from the hitter. But it's really just a combination of images and an algorithm that identifies what the ball is doing in space.
Kevin, I know from talking to you, I mean, you guys are heavily involved in baseball, but you guys are also really committed and invested in softball. Why is that?
Well, first, the demand has been, the growth has exploded for us. But to go back to the initial inception of Baseball Cloud, my partner Joe Slayman, when I first came to him with the idea, and my background is in baseball, when I first came to him with the idea, he gave me one caveat, and the only way that he would invest in participating in the business is if we went into softball. So my partner is probably the biggest fan of softball that exists. Okay, yeah, so he's the biggest fan of softball that there is, and then from there, the interest and the market demand just increased. So we've invested a lot of resources and we're very proud to say that we're the only optical in-game tracking system, and the market's accepting of it.
Kevin, we appreciate it. We could talk to you all day. We will probably talk to you more at some point off camera, but thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having me.
We'll take a break.
Take care.
Mariah Masson enters the game. Well, Megan Faremo exits here with 2 outs in the bottom of the 4th, or excuse me, the top of the 4th, a runner on second. And Mariah Masson enters her 2nd season out of Oregon State. This is pretty unbelievable, Amanda. She leads the league in wins, ERA, and opponent batting average. She might not be here right now if not for an injury at AUX in San Diego last season. They called her in the middle of the season because of an injury to another pitcher. She drove 4 hours from her home in California, pitched that day, and here she is, probably pitching the best of her life. But earlier, we had the home run.
Yeah, Delaney Whiz on a changeup. The ball is flying out of the ballpark. It seems like the only way these teams are scoring are with the long ball. Delaney Whiz with the solo home run.
3-0. Team Alexander plates another one on the shot from Delaney Whiz, so they lead Team Davidson. 10 inning win points on the line again here in the bottom of the fourth. The 61st Bundesliga season kicked off today. Tomorrow, though, it's Dortmund hosting Köln. Coverage begins at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. A 12:30 kickoff on ABC, ESPN Plus, and ESPN Deportes. I know you're keeping an eye on that. Ground ball left side. Here is Delaney Whiz. 1 pitch, 1 out.
I'm keeping an eye on you pronouncing those words is what I was keeping an eye. I was like reading them on the screen and listening to you and trying to learn. So that's it. I was keeping my eye on and my ear on.
I am addicted to soccer, and that's a newer thing for me, but I love it now. I watched the opening game today on ESPN Plus. Bayern Munich and Werder Bremen. A little German there. 1-0 count here for Nadia Taylor, who grounded out to end the first inning. Swings through that pitch. Kind of had to rush Kevin Davidson off, but great stuff from him. I mean, somebody who's extremely passionate about it, and there really are. I mean, we're not joking. There's any sort of metric you want, we are able to see it through the Yakkertech data. Taylor spins this one toward Flippin. There's 2 outs quickly for Alyssa Denham. We've got Sam Fisher coming to the plate, doubled last time. Let's go into the game with Sam Fisher.
Your hips. Rock your hips.
Oh, I always got you. I always got you.
Thanks, dude.
Yep, I'm super fast, but it appears like slower. So people have no idea because I juke them. That's not me. You're okay. They would have turned and thrown me out. Yeah, no, Abby would have turned and thrown me out.
Well, she's talking to Aaron Dixon over there. I just love Sam Fisher. Always has something to say, just talking about the speed she's got. See her lay down a bunt here, maybe. I'm joking.
Yeah, she always keeps things really loose. Like to hear her talk about that play, too. That was an important play in this game to this point.
Delaney Whiz staying busy over at third base. She has been lights out, has the home runs, made a number of plays over there. 7-pitch inning for Alyssa Denham and 10 more inning win points for them.
I'm Staff Sergeant Sarah Stanton, production recruiter at the 182nd Airlift Wing, Peoria, Illinois. The Air National Guard's motto is always ready, always there. We proudly partner with Athletes Unlimited, who support players who are always ready to compete for the top spot. Let's find out who climbed their way up to the leaderboard rankings to earn the title of the Air National Guard's Mover of the Week.
Only one player moved up 30 spots or more last week. Danielle Gibson led the way, plus 30 on the leaderboard.
And is crushing the ball, 6 for 10 on the week, hit 2 home runs, a double, and had 6 RBI. What a week for Danielle Gibson from the left-hand side of the plate, her sweet swing, the knowledge that we've been able to talk to her about. It's been a lot of fun watching her play.
And here's what she's done. Started off 11th, then down to 35th, and then jumping 30 spots to 5th on the leaderboard. You said it, that sweet, it might be the sweetest swing in the league, and that is saying something, but it is just so smooth. As we get 2, 3, 4, she's due up third. Kelsey Stewart-Hunter leads off the inning. Stewart-Hunter a single in the first, and then lined out to McClenny in center, her last trip up. Down 0-2 to Masson.
Calling timeout. Messon was something on her finger, or her hand, fingernail.
You're right, I think it was that pointer finger on her right hand that maybe a fingernail was bothering her.
Of course, Sis is like, you need help? I got you. Sis just right there on the spot, always. I mean, the fact that Masson has given up 2 earned runs in 18 innings pitched this season. 8 hits, that's it.
Stewart-Hunter, shallow left field, long run for Hayward. It falls down in front of her for a leadoff single.
The last time she gave up a run was August 5th, and that's actually the only appearance that she's given up runs. It was August 5th, those 2 runs. Every other time that she's pitched, she's put up zeros.
Now a dangerous batter coming to the plate against Masson. First chance for Mulipola off Masson. That was a big time hack.
That is a big hack for sure.
Off speed there for strike 2.
Up and in with her rise ball to low and away with the changeup to get that second strike. Such a good pitch, 55 miles an hour. She just dropped it in.
Now an 0-2 to Deja. Upstairs, too far. Davidson tracks it down, but Stewart-Hunter into scoring position here with nobody out. Mulipola with the 2-run shot, her last trip to the plate, her first home run in the championship season since her last at bat of last year, August 28th, 2022. Hit a few at AUX on this field. As far as the championship season goes, not at this field. It was her second home run of the season. Hit 9 of them last year. Ground ball up the middle. That gets through. Stewart-Hunter coming around, but holds up late. Mulipola into second, and a great chance now for Danielle Gibson.
And Kelsey Stewart-Hunter was actually being sent on that, but decides to throw on the brakes as soon as she rounds third because of the fact that it's Haley McClenny out there that the ball is going to. So goes hard to third, picks up her coach, but that is like, no, did you see who just caught the ball out in center field? I know her arm. I'm just gonna stay right here and let this inning progress and have patience with it with 2 runners in scoring position and nobody out.
McClenny is the national runner-up with Alabama to a Kelsey Stewart-Hunter Florida team. Florida won back-to-back in 14 and 15 under Tim Walton. Now Gibson, 0 for 1 with a walk, just under that pitch when we had her mic'd up last time to center field.
Big opportunity for Team Alexander. Already have this 3-run lead, 2 runners in scoring position, nobody out. Another chance to extend this lead. And Masson, we said, only giving up 8 hits all season, giving up back-to-back hits in this inning, though.
It's in there for strike 2. Odyssey Alexander hasn't touched the field. She has collected 40 inning win points thanks to her team so far, and Alyssa Denham in the circle. Gibson underneath that to stay alive. Gibson 3 for 10 on the season with runners in scoring position. Again, just protecting.
And left-handed hitters see the ball better off of Masson. Coming in this game, hitting 208 off of her, and righties just 086.
Swings through it. Masson gets a big out number 1.
Massive. Danielle Gibson has been so hot, but so has Masson. Drop ball, inside corner, throwing it right at her back foot. Perfect location.
First pitch just outside to Gwen Svekis. She's 0 for 2 tonight, but always the danger of her bat with the power she possesses. Long-time pro. 1-0 from Masson. Svekis did get a good piece of that.
There's so many stats this season that just jump off the page about Mariah Masson this year. But with runners on base, opponents only hitting 107 off of her.
It really is. It's unbelievable what we're seeing from her. She said Danielle O'Toole actually gave her a lot of advice on kind of how to approach the offseason, some of the work to do, how to stay in shape, and how to ramp up for the season. Worked out at a facility in Oakland where she gave some lessons. She coached at a Division II university, and then threw some live to Jazz Jackson as the season got closer. There's Danielle O'Toole, last year's AUX champion, retired at the end of last year's championship season. Now an assistant coach at Cal.
Well, and you saw that Masson is 4-0 on the year. 3 of those wins have come in relief, so used heavily in relief, very comfortable in that role and in that position.
This is her 6th appearance. 5 of them have been in relief. 3-2 to Svekis. Hits it hard into left field, down. 1 run will score. Mulipola holds it third. What an at-bat by Gwen Svekis to come through and extend this lead to 4.
Big RBI. That pitch was up, and at hitter's count, Masson had to come more on the plate, had to come more up in the zone because of some pitches that Svekis took earlier in her AB that were close, but Masson takes notes of those takes, and what the umpire is calling has to bring it up right into the swing of Gwen Svekis for the RBI.
Still not out of the danger here. Chat with the infield and Mia Davidson. Hannah Flippin coming to the plate. She's trying to get her bat going. We've got our star in the stands, Taylor Edwards. Right on cue, Gwen Svekis coming through. I mean, your fiance getting it done. What, are you nervous in the stands more when she's at the plate?
Oh my gosh, yes. I am like a nervous wreck up here watching her. Oh, it's crazy. But when we're down there and I'm in, behind the plate calling pitches, I'm trying to get her out every single time.
Did anything stand out to you about that at bat?
Just looked like she was trusting herself a little bit better than she has. And when she committed to her swing, actually you could see that she committed to it. Other swings, it looks like she's just a little bit indecisive, but that one she definitely looked like she committed fully.
She's catching Alyssa Denham tonight, and obviously they play together in Japan. How important is that relationship? And they've kind of been paired a lot this season together. They're familiar, but how comfortable is that, not just for pitcher, but also for catcher?
It's very comforting when you work with somebody for a long time, and them being over in Japan together, you know, they're the only 2 foreigners on their team. Now, actually, Mariah Mazon is going to go with them the second half. But for them to work together, get to know each other better off of the field, it totally lets them shine and be comfortable on the field. So them being, you know, besties in Japan now, it definitely has been working for them.
Hey, while we have you, you know, you played at Nebraska, and of course you guys got one of the biggest transfers like in the history of the transfer portal with Jordy Ball. What's the vibe been like and excitement with Nebraska softball going into this season?
It's been super, super fun and just really exciting. I'm super pumped to have Jordy back in Nebraska, and just to see her shine back in her home state. GBR forever, and I'm just excited for what the team's going to do this year.
Before we let you go, there was such a great moment last year at AUX. Tatum was in the other dugout. You hit the home run. She was kind of trying to keep it cool. Little throwdown, got him, but the run coming home. Mulipola scores. How much do you talk to or let's start with this, actually. Let's go back to this play here. What's the communication there on that first and third between Davidson and everybody in the infield?
I'm thinking since they already scored, they're the home team. Just risking it there to try to get it out, help Mariah, help the defense a little bit. And Mia's got a cannon.
That thing got a lot of that. Wow.
The responses too of the kids around you. Oh,
I know. But yeah, I think that Mia's got a cannon, so just trusting your D, just trying to get it out here, and especially this gold lineup. I mean, everybody in this league is very good. So if you can get it out anywhere, you got to go for it.
And I was going to ask you about Tatum. How much is she cheering you on? How much does she still talk to you during the season? Well, of course, that's out number 3.
Yeah. Every day.
There you go. That's what I like to hear. Taylor,
every day, all day.
Thank you so much. We kept you long enough. You are free to go.
Thank you guys so much.
Taylor.
Thanks, Taylor.
Thank you.
5-0 Team Alexander. Wow, big game for them. $5-0, and Team Alexander in line for more win points if Team Davidson can't plate at least 2 runs here in the bottom of the 5th. So far, Alyssa Denham has not given an inch. We've got 4 Little League World Series elimination games for you Saturday. Australia, Cuba to kick things off at noon Eastern, followed by the kids from Pennsylvania taking on Maine, and then Canada and the Czech Republic. We cap the day off with Nevada and Ohio. All 4 games on ESPN and the app. Little League Softball World Series finishing up last Sunday. New York, the winners, and quite the response they got, too, from the community in New York.
Yeah, you know, that's big sports town or city, but They had the New York Jets tweet about them. Derek Jeter tweeted about them. Their governor, Kathy Hochul, tweeted about them, and the New York Islanders. And I'm sure I'm missing someone, but they're the talk of the town.
It's a small town community vibe up there in New York City. You know how it is.
Yeah. In Long Island, we had some great accents with their coach. A lot of fun.
Andrea Filler leads things off 7-8-9. Delaney Whiz staying busy. There's one away.
She's gotten the ball every inning hit her way except for the third inning. A lot of putouts over there that look just like that too. Just soft choppers hit at her.
One away now for Denham. Maddie Husky at the plate. First pitch swinging, flipping. 2 outs.
Yeah, if you're playing infield behind Alyssa Denham, you know you're going to get a lot of balls hit your way. She does not have a strikeout tonight, and all of her outs have been on the ground.
Denham trying to go 1, 2, 3 and be at the 60 pitch mark or right around it through 5 innings of work. Odyssey Alexander's in the bullpen. I mean, it's going to be tough to make a call here, because if you're Odyssey Alexander, you're still getting a ton of points right now if Alyssa Denham keeps rolling. That's something we talked about. A lot of the players say they don't look at the leaderboard because they just become consumed by it. But when you got the C on your chest, you know you're doing something right. So you know, depending on which color jersey you're wearing, where you stand at least entering the week. So Odyssey Alexander, I think everybody here's a competitor. I mean, you know you got a chance. You're going to take whatever measures necessary that you feel like will give you the best chance to win.
So interesting to see how every captain plays it a little different.
Showed you that graphic earlier of Odyssey's win points. She is 8-1, on her way to 9-1, barring a big comeback by Team Davidson. The only other player with 8 wins is Bubba Nichols. She entered this week 7-2, but won game 1 of this 4th week. She is now 8-2. This is shallow left, flipping, going back and making a nice grab in left field in front of Danielle Gibson. 1, 2, 3 inning for Alyssa Denham, who is rolling, and they've got all the win points so far.
Two big flies for Team Alexander in this game. The first, Deja Mulipola back in the top of the 3rd inning, a 2-run home run and her 2nd home run this season. Then in the next inning, it was Delaney Whiz on a changeup sitting on that pitch, a solo home run for her. Mulipola and Whiz with home runs in this game, and Team Alexander with a big lead.
And for every run scored during this year's Athletes Unlimited softball season, Aspiration committed to planting 10 trees, almost 1,200 entering this week. And pitchers not making it easy, but the big bats like Delaney Whiz and Deja Mulipola finding a way.
And that stat too, the teams that score 4 or more runs are 14-1 this season. Pretty telling. Just get your pitcher and your defense 4 runs and settle in for the win, pretty much.
And it would not have been the case at AUX. That number would have had to been, I mean, realistically, probably 6, 7
I was gonna
at
say 6
least.
or 7, yeah.
Delaney Whiz has been lights out tonight. Fielded plenty of balls over at third base, has been perfect defensively. In the 7 spot, and a very versatile hitter. Some great pop, 2-0 count here from Masson, 3-0. You swinging here if you're Delaney Whiz?
Yeah.
Okay.
Team's up by 5 runs, swing away. And she just takes straight up.
I like your attitude, though,
Well,
that
I'm
you're
just
going to take
thinking
a
you have
cut.
nothing to lose, you know?
Yeah.
You're up by 5 runs, probably going to get a good pitch to hit there, and it was. That pitch was kind of middle out.
Three, 3-1, ground ball down the third base line and fair. This is going to the corner. Whiz is going to second base. Stand-up double for Delaney Whiz, who adds to her great night. We've got Danielle Gibson, who had a great look at that in the dugout for Team Alexander. Another good swing from Delaney Whiz, Danielle.
Oh my gosh, and the leadoff on, you can't ask for anything more. Just doing her job, seeing pitches. I think the best thing in softball, when you're focusing on little things and being able to get the pitch count up, is great. And so she went deep. She got on. Obviously, a double is great. So we're just looking to do small things in a big game.
Danielle, right in front of you. Going from Megan Frema with upspin to Masson with more downspin, what do you think about as a hitter or talk about in the dugout?
Yeah, with Mariah, she's honestly one of the best pitchers that has came out in this champ season. Nothing but respect for her. She does 2 things really phenomenal. Is she goes up and down really well. And so when you face hard up with Megan, who does it the best in the league, and then you have someone who goes down really well, but also up, you got to be able to find the center of the ball. And so not trying to make too big of adjustments, not trying to make too big of swings, just trying to find the center of the ball, get a pitch over the plate, and hopefully drive it at the middle.
Leah Andrews, top of the order coming up. Runner on third with 2 outs. Danielle, when did you feel like in your career you started to understand hitting at the next level? Like, it feels like when we talk to you now, there's just this unbelievable knowledge of your swing, of pitchers, what they're trying to do. When did it click for you?
Well, I appreciate that. I don't take those compliments for granted. Oh, come on.
Oh, you gotta go out to the field now.
I do.
We're gonna get that answer later, though.
Okay, sounds good. We'll talk soon.
Thanks, Danielle.
See you.
Leadoff double, but Masson takes care of business after that. To the bottom of the 6th we go. 5-0 Team Alexander, 10 hits to just 2 for Team Davidson, who is coming up in the bottom of the 6th with some inning win points on the line. They need to muster something here late in this game, but a new pitcher, Alyssa Denham's night is done. She was spectacular. Here comes the captain, Odyssey Alexander, who pitched 11 innings, had a sub-1 ERA, and struck out 10 batters last week.
Oh, is that all?
That's all.
She should compliment Alyssa Denham really well, because Odyssey Alexander is just bringing the heat, honestly, this season. 70 miles an hour with the rise ball up and in her hands. To the right-handed hitters, as well as her screwball and curveball and mixed a little off speed. She just looked really determined this season, and obviously it's showing on the leaderboard.
Speaking of complimenting her well, Denham, all 15 outs on the ground. Unbelievable stat for Alyssa Denham tonight. Victoria Hayward to lead things off. McClenny and Romero behind her. Fouled straight back by Hayward. 1-1 count. We've got Danielle Gibson still mic'd up out there. Let's take you on the other side of things for your pitcher, Alyssa Denham, who was so successful. What did she do so well?
Gosh, she changed speeds like it was nobody's business. I think when you're able to get hitters off balance in this league, that's when you're really successful, and then obviously getting ground balls with elite infielders. I mean, I feel like I saw Dee and Flip field like 4 or 5 ground balls each, so you're giving us outs, and we're going to be able to get you some inning wins, so that's all you can ask for.
We were talking to Kevin Davidson from Yacker Tech, and all about data and numbers. And Danielle, are there any numbers that when you're coaching athletes or being an athlete yourself playing that you like to look at in terms of data?
That's a great question, because I feel like I range with a lot of stuff that I look at based off of trends, off of what we're doing as athletes or what the kids that I'm looking at are doing. And so, but I think the thing that comes back is how hard can you hit the ball? What's my exit velo? If I'm getting good exit velo, then I'm going to be able to make good things happen. There's some ridiculous stat in the MLB that is like when you hit the ball over like 75 miles an hour, how many hits you have. And so for me, it was like if I can get the barrel on the ball, then good things will happen. And even though sometimes maybe I might hit it right at him, the ball's going to fall. And so being able to just keep that barrel mindset is huge for me.
I asked you at the end of last inning, when did it start to click for you at a different level as a hitter? Well, and maybe as a coach too, but what was that moment like?
Well, unfortunately in college, I suffered a lot of injuries, but I definitely didn't want to, come on. Take it. Good angle, good job. I didn't want to take reps off, and so really when we started in college softball getting into synergy and getting into certain systems that allowed for us to look more at what we're doing personally and scouting other pitchers. I had coaches who were all in on me watching more film and taking reps. And so the more I just fiddled around with film, the more it just kind of clicked. And it's something that I take pride in now, the way that I watch film. So, and then obviously learning a ton from Tony and just being able to understand what they do as a powerhouse, and then what I do as someone who likes to hit for power but also likes to hit for average.
Danielle, what's Odyssey like as a captain this week?
Oh gosh, Odyssey has been nothing but amazing, an amazing leader. I've always had respect for her, but this past week has been nothing short of just amazing. Like, she is just fun, spunky, light. She wants us to play free, and you feel that when you feel that from the top and you feel that from your captain, it just allows you to play more free and play your game. And she always tells me, she's like, I choose you. And so being able to have that faith and that confidence coming from the top is just, I mean, you can't dream of it here. Like, it's just something that is like unique to Odyssey. So
Danielle, we appreciate the time. As always, we could talk hitting, softball, anything with you all day long. We're going to listen in the rest of this inning, if that's all right.
Sounds good. I can talk all day. So whenever you need me, you just let me know.
1-1 pitch coming from Odyssey.
Come on. Yes. So right there.
Nice scoop there from Ramirez.
How about just keeping the gas on? Down by 5 runs. Victoria Hayward steals. I mean, Love the aggressiveness. Team Davidson.
Vic now 4 for 4 in the season. That career total in stolen bases that leads Athletes Unlimited continues to rise. See if McClenny can bring her around. Into center, Andrews coming on, makes the catch. There's one out.
Great lead. Good job, good job.
It's almost like a drop ball that was hit out there to Aaliyah Andrews. Tough one to read.
How tough is it right now for Haley McClenny? I mean, somebody that's used to hitting not 300, but I mean, you're talking 400 plus regularly. On-base percentage for McClenny is still pretty good. She walks a lot, but the hits just haven't been there.
That can be so frustrating. Even too, when you have a hit like that and you're thinking, all right, this is a better swing, it's gonna fall, and then it doesn't. It's so frustrating.
Oh, 1 to Romero.
Just looking at how many at-bats or plate appearances that Sierra Romero has had with runners on base this season, the most out of any player in the league, Sierra Romero has come up with a runner on base. Not runner in scoring position, but at least a runner on base.
Swings through it.
Let's go.
Big pitch there from Odyssey Alexander.
It's so good.
The first strikeout, actually, for Team Alexander in this game. Melissa Denham, a lot of pitch to contact, and now Odyssey Alexander calling her own name late in this game and gets a strikeout. And see that head nod about that location of that curveball? She knew it. That's where she wanted to put that pitch.
I mean, pretty ridiculous. Alyssa Denham goes 5 innings of scoreless ball, gives up 2 hits, and doesn't strike out a batter.
Flip, I'm here. Yeah, CC.
Ooh, inside, that got Davidson. 6th time she has been hit by a pitch this season, trying to shake that off. It's 8 points for her on the leaderboard. She is now in 5th place, actually. 18 points behind Danielle Gibson.
You can tell how pitchers try to pitch her up and in because she gets hit with quite a few pitches, trying to work off the plate inside. You don't want to miss on the plate against Mia Davidson and want to miss off.
After those 8 points, she is just 10 now behind Danielle Gibson. Gibson going to get a huge boost along with everybody else on Team Alexander. If they can close this game out, they're just 4 outs away.
Yeah, CC, here we go.
A couple of close pitches that Odyssey just has thrown in this at bat, not getting the call.
Working against Nadia Taylor, who's grounded out twice against Denham.
Fine.
Bounced in, both runners advance.
Well, remember too, for Odyssey, if you give up an earn run, then it's minus points off your score.
-10 for every earned run allowed. She is 96 points clear of Bubba Nichols thanks to some inning win points they've picked up in this one. Oh, that was into the stands.
Head on the swivel. Yeah, CC. Here we go. Come back hard.
2-2 to Taylor. She is fighting right now. Nadia, an assistant coach now at Houston. It will be in her first season there.
Yeah, CC.
Hard hit, caught by Ramirez. And that'll do it for the 6th. Still all Team Alexander. More zeros on the board. 20 inning win points on the line in the 7th. Athletes Unlimited Softball on ESPN is sponsored by Aspiration, a global leader in financing climate impact. Jade Hewitt capturing the best moments from week 3. That picture of Aaliyah Andrews, so great after her walk-off for Team Alexander, actually. And then Josie Muffley with the play of the week. One of the plays of the season, the diving glove flip up the middle. Big day tomorrow, both games on ESPN2. The doubleheader starting at noon Eastern, Team Davidson and Team Nichols. So quick turnaround for Mia Davidson and company at noon Eastern tomorrow. Then Team Ortez and Team Alexander facing off at 2:30 Eastern. So we could have a completely even set of teams. Assist Bates, that might be the rarest thing you will see all year. That gets away from her at shortstop.
Yeah, not sure what happened. Actually, I thought it got by her completely, but I see it just hits off the heel of her glove.
Pola swings through that pitch up in the zone, strike 1. As I was saying, though, as Team Alexander closes the door here, you have a chance tomorrow. Either a couple teams could be 2-0, a couple teams 0-2, or everybody could be even going into the final day of Series 4. Count for Deja Mulipola. Danielle Gibson on deck, runner on first, nobody out. Off speed, chance for 2. Bates and makes up for it. A double play. Sis Bates much more happy with herself that time.
Tough decision for her there too, if she wanted to give a toss to Romero or just take it on her own, but she just understands the feel and the timing of the game, how hard the ball was hit, how fast the runner runs down the baseline. Knew with that internal clock she could take it on her own.
Gibson watches the first pitch high for ball 1. Fourth place on the leaderboard right now. She was a captain. She dribbles this one back up the middle. Bates, that was really smooth, but didn't have a chance. It's an infield single for Gibson.
It was so quick to get there too, and then Romero dodging what she thought was going to be a throw too. It was really something to watch. Look at the angle that Sis Bates takes to get to that ball and keep it from going to the outfield, but Sierra Romero lays down too, just trying to get out of the way of a possible attempted throw.
Dribbler right side, Filler takes care of it. Pretty quick inning there for Mariah Masson. The double play after the error. We're going to the bottom of the 7th, 20 inning win points on the line. Not just the game for Team Davidson, but 20 inning win points on the line. So even if they score just one, they won't go home empty-handed here after Team Alexander has been pretty dominant tonight. The Gold team this season is on an 8-game losing streak. They're just 1-8 through 3 weeks. Odyssey Alexander, though, has been the queen of winning this season. 8-1, 950 points. That leads the league, and she's going to snap that streak, it looks like.
Yeah, it does look that way.
Outside corner, just too far outside to Sam Fisher. 6, 7, 8 coming up. Gold had just 16 inning wins in the first 3 weeks. If Odyssey closes the door here, they will have 7 added to that total in just 1 game. Fisher swings through it. Cody, our graphics guru, made a great point about the Gold team with regards to the it's a snake draft. The 4th team picks first, 4, 3, 2, and then the Gold team gets 2 picks in a row, but you don't pick again for about 8 picks. So if you don't hit those first 2, and you have to be on it on draft day. Odyssey Alexander's first pick, Alyssa Denham. 5 scoreless innings tonight. Danielle Gibson was pick number 2. Svekis was number 4, and Alicia Ocasio was number 3. Tried to get Fisher, and they say she did go. There's 1 away.
That would have been an unbelievable holdback by Sam Fisher with how far out her hands were. I just wasn't sure if the barrel went there too, but you see it actually touch the ground out in front of home plate. Tries to hold back on that off-speed pitch, but second strikeout for Odyssey.
1 out, Andrea Filler, 1 for 2 tonight. Watches strike 1. The biggest movement on the leaderboard tonight, in the top 10 to 12 at least, has been Alyssa Denham as Filler puts this one in left field. She's got a 1-out base hit. Alyssa Denham up 6 spots to 7. Kat Sandercock up 4 spots to 6. The only change in the top 5 has been Gibson and Davidson switching spots. You see who's moved the most right there. Faremo down a few spots, but said earlier tonight, Alyssa Denham, keep an eye on her, and she has started to make a little climb. And probably gonna have some MVP points coming her way.
Yeah, a lot to be decided still with this last innings points and also the win points, MVP points, to see how everything is gonna get shuffled up.
Denham could be as high as 5th place, depending on MVP votes. She actually might be there anyway because of win points. Frankie Hamoudi gets a chance from Oregon State. Hamoudi and Masson, two teammates from an Oregon State team that went to the Women's College World Series a couple seasons ago, reunited this week on Team Davidson. Hamoudi looking for her first career hit, 0 for 6 this season. Big cut, fouls it out of play. .53 career home runs, hit .360 or better as a sophomore and junior in college, and walked more than 21 times all 4 seasons. Her uncle is Ron Rivera, head coach of the Washington Commanders. Odyssey and Gwen Svekis called time there, trying to get on the same page. Odyssey always has a big smile on her face. She is always loose in the circle. Three and one.
I just got done watching her cousin finish runner-up at the Little League Softball World Series and ride that momentum into her own play, too. It was a big week for Odyssey's family. A lot of softball that they got to watch.
Moody fouls that back over us. Kaylee Garner, Odyssey's cousin, who was in the Little League Softball World Series. There's a great video of Odyssey watching them clinch their spot in Greenville. She was just as big a fan. 3-2, outside corner, strike 3, the third for Odyssey in just a 1 2/3 of work.
Brings in this curveball just a little bit to be able to get the call from the home plate umpire a little bit closer to the plate than the one that was not called earlier in the AB, and Odyssey Alexander working with Gwen Svekis to get that looking strikeout.
Sis Bates, last chance here. A run on first that would mean 20 win points for Team Davidson, even if they don't go on to win this game. Swings through the first pitch, strike 1. Two big cuts there from Sis Bates, and now Team Davidson down to their final out. It could be a full sweep for Team Alexander if Odyssey can get this final out right here. 120 points available every game as far as win points go, and they could all go to Team Alexander, and they will. Swing and a miss from Sis Bates. Odyssey Alexander finishes the job with 2 clean innings. Alyssa Denham was lights out in 5 innings. That's why she was the first pick. It's 120 total points for everybody on Team Alexander.
Yeah, we mentioned how tough the gold team has had it this season, and Mulipola has worn a gold uniform basically the entire season, so she was the first one out to go and give Odyssey Alexander a hug. Finally gets a win. It's been a tough season for Mulipola and the gold team, but got the win with Captain Alexander.
Another great start for Odyssey. She's 9-1 on the season now for our entire crew. Amanda Scarborough, Savannah Collins, I'm Chucky Kemp. Thanks for joining us, everybody. We're back tomorrow on ESPN2 for a doubleheader starting at noon Eastern.